All right, let's start again and let's take a look at some evidence that I'm going to throw into this and kind of some discussion that we should all have and a few odd things that I would like to discuss on the spending of Deborah Weiss or Deborah Wessel or Shalom Weiss, Shalom White, Deborah Allen. She goes by so many different names. Who knows what the real name is? But this is the New Jersey Business Gateway. This is the business documents for the HalleluYAH Scriptures. And I like to bring these back up because we need to, for those who, there's a lot of people that always watch these, have never watched anything else. And the people I'm discussing is a criminal enterprise known as the HalleluYAH Scriptures. Now let's take a look at the associated name that is with the HalleluYAH Scriptures, and that is Hands That Help, orphan feeding program. And for those who do not know what I'm talking about, there are no orphans, widows, or lepers. I've never run into any yet. There's nothing that's even credible that would show they spent anything to the orphans, widows, and lepers. And what's crazy is the United in Yah is the same as the HalleluYAH Scriptures. It's the same face. And they just defrauded a ton of people over the Battle Cry event that people thought they were donating to the orphans, widows, and lepers, things of that nature. Now, this is Robert Griffith. Now, Robert Griffith is the man that is leading this. It's Deborah Wessel and Robert Griffith. Now, Robert Griffith is basically he lets this go on from Deborah Weiss. He allows the people of Yah to be destroyed under his name. And he thinks that he is, I don't know what he thinks, but he is complicit with this and he needs to be arrested. Robert Liu needs to be arrested. They have stolen hundreds of thousands of dollars in fake donations and grifts and scams while he was president of this. He needs to be arrested. Now let's continue on what I'd like to go with this. Now we're going to head over to another set of documents right here. And this is the Hands That Love, March 2022. Now, this is a very interesting time because this was where we had an expense for a dominatrix prostitute out of New Zealand, more than likely. We're going to get into that. This is from their Hands That Love. This is the date that is on there is March 1st, 2022 to March 31st. Now, March 31st, 2022. Now, this is the personal spending account of Deborah Weiss, as well as she does do some business stuff. This is where she buys the stuff for United in Yah. This is where she buys the teleconferencing from Zoom. This is where she has done test charges to the United in Yah to make sure their credit card stuff is working. But that's not what I'm talking about on this one. This is the one I want to talk about right here. And what I'd like to focus on first and foremost is this PayPal transfer right here that happened on 3/9. This is very, very important because there was a Sodom and Gomorrah style crime that was committed on 3/10. And I'd like to go over this and let's look at this. Actually, let's look at this first. PayPal, they withdrew $6,000 from their PayPal account for donations that is under Alan Horvath's account. They're using a dead man's PayPal account because none of them put their real names on any of this. So they have a dead man's PayPal account. And if you take a look at that $6,000, this is very important because this is what they drained out of their PayPal account prior to them getting busted. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. And I'd like to show you that this is where the Sodom and Gomorrah started on 3/10, but I want to watch the trail of where they went prior to this. Now, this was on 3/10, and the reason that you see this separated from the other accounts, take a look right there, because this came out of this account with 2393. This was a physical credit card. These were paid by on the web via PayPal. There was not enough money in the account when they did this. Now, 3/10, right? Remember 3/9, they withdrew all the money from their PayPal account. Then 3/10, this would have never shown on their bank statements, except she had no money in her PayPal account. So it came out, and I think it was 2 hours of prostitution service of a dominatrix. And because this is not just U.S. cash, and I guess in New Zealand it's 20 to 25% higher. So this 504 would have been like $750 or $800. It would have been a way more than what it is. Now, let's take a quick look at this because I thought this was very interesting going towards this. Now, we have the crime of a dominatrix, a prostitute that used the donation money that they were stealing from people for a prostitute. Prior to this is the trail that she went down. So we have on 3-8, we have a co-op called Farmlands, right? It is a co-op. That is a food place. Nicole, is that a organic food store, the co-op? Farmlands? We also have Huckleberry right here. And take a look at the money that she spent. She spent $207 at one and $689.53 at the next. So these are the tracks that she went. First, she was in Wakatane, right? Then she was in Mount Maunganu. And again, I'm not New Zealand, so I'm probably slaughtering these, but you guys can pronunciate. You guys can see what I'm going with. Then they went to Bayfair. Then she went to Tauranga. Right? And then, right before the crime was done, they were at this place in Wakatane called The Good Life, right? And this is 310. This is the same day that they bought the prostitution services where you have to pay, you have to pay a day before, I think, was for some of these. So if you look right here, after her encounter with a dominatrix prostitute, she didn't do anything for 6 days right here. Now, one thing that you guys should take a look at is there are no orphans, widows, and lepers in here, right? You have organic food stores, lots of organic food stores. What Deborah Wessel is doing is she is cruising around, more than likely, in an RV inside of New Zealand. Now, the very first place we had, right, was Tauranga. And this is her little path that she went down. She went and bought food in Tauranga. And then she's cruising along down here in her fifth wheel. I believe she is picking up cash, or not cash, cash and food, and she's storing the food in her, whatever, call it an underground bunker or her house outside of it. But this is the path, right, that we just went down. Everything here. The first one was in Tauranga. The farmlands in Wakatane was right here.
It's down further near you.
Farmlands, and then the food, I'm right here. This is where I'm at.
The farmlands is over here by The Good Life.
All right, yeah, and so this was her trail. She started off over here to begin with. She moves down these roads and is buying stuff all the way to where we get to The Good Life. That was her final purchase on that. But this is the tracks, and these are the trails that she is taking and embezzling this money. Not embezzling it, but she is stealing this money, and this is the trail of money, and this is where she is going. Guys, look on this stuff right here, right? Books of Plenty. That has nothing to do with orphans, widows, and lepers. We have Warehouse Stat. That has nothing to do with orphans, widows, and lepers. You have a $307.31 purchase at a knife shop in Tauranga, right? What does that have to do with orphans, widows, and lepers? Then she withdrew another $600. She only gets $600. A lot of this is transaction fees. She rips the people of our Creator off a tremendous amount on these transaction fees. So we supposedly have all these orphans, widows, and lepers, but yet you do not see anything in a full year of their bank statements. You see no orphans, widows, and lepers. But we do see Huckleberry for $689. So when she was at Huckleberry in Mount Maunganu, however you say that, Huckleberry, right? Let's see. Huckleberry is Countdown Bayfair. Where is Huckleberry? Nicole, where's Huckleberry at on this thing?
It's called The Good something. The Good Store.
Oh, the Good Food Market?
Yeah.
All right, so there's where she just spent $600, right? 600 Huckleberry right there. So she went and spent almost $700, but in US, guys, that would have been a solid $1,000 that she just spent at the Good Food Market in Tauranga. So what do you make of this, right? Is she feeding the orphans, widows, and lepers on the coast of New Zealand? Are there orphans, widows, and lepers? No, we found the places where they park. They park all of this stuff up in here. So there's where she went the first time, right? She spent $700 US dollars on that. And then she went to the Source Bulk Foods in Bayfair. So let's continue on. Source Bulk Foods in Bayfair. Nicole, where's that one at?
It's right next.
Is that Mount Maunganu?
It's in.
Let's see. Where are we at?
Yeah, it's one of these in here. Good Food Market.
I think it's right here. Yeah, Countdown Bayfair.
It was close to that one.
Okay.
Right there. Countdown Bayfair.
Countdown Bayfair's right there. That was the next one in. Okay, I got it. Thank
Sorry.
you. Yeah, so that was, I think we were right over here. So is where she spent the second set of cash, right? The Countdown Bayfair. But look at this. What's interesting is, and why is she doing this? Is there something in New Zealand where you cannot spend over a certain amount of money or something? Look at the line item date, right? She has bulk Bayfair, and then she has countdown, countdown, and countdown. There's 3 separate countdowns. 1, 2, 3. And that is a total, let's see, look at that. 4, 8, 12, 1,300 US dollars right there in Bayfair. So she is really raking in the cash and stealing this. Right. Where's Bayfair? Sorry, guys, you get to explore with me here. So Bayfair, I think, is over here. This map is just lesser than good. All right, there it is. So Bayfair is coming up over here. Countdown Bayfair. Be on the right. Oops, that just went crazy. Okay, so Bayfair is, I'm trying to find this $1,200.
I think it's over there.
Bayfair is? And the New Zealand stuff is,
There's like 2 things right there. See? Right there.
okay.
There it
The
is.
source, there it is, the source bulk food. That was the one, yeah, Countdown Bayfair. So that's where she's just spent a ton of cash, guys. She just spent 4, 8, 12, like literally all that right there. And the interesting thing also is this go-to lawyers, Salisbury, this is in Australia. She's paying for somebody's legal fees or working for somebody, and there are contacts in Australia. So she's stealing the money off the backs of everybody that is there. And then the last place she went before she did the crime or before she went in with the dominatrix was the Good Life in Wakatane. So I guess I'm curious to know is so she spent, let's see, the Good Life right there. How much she spent? 316. The Good Life was 188 US dollars. So that was the last thing. So she spent all that money there, and then she cruised down to, there it is, Countdown Bayfair, and then she went and the Good Life. So my question is, are there dominatrixes in this area? And there are. They're all over New Zealand if you look them up. But I'm guessing that there was whatever the dominatrix that was paid for, that she was roughly around this Bayfair area. And either this Mistress Alana is some kind of a shop that you can buy things of this Sodom and Gomorrah style, or it was a dominatrix that you pay per hour and you have to schedule ahead of time, and it could be in that area. So I don't know, for those who are in New Zealand, maybe you guys can let me know if right in that area there is a Mistress Alana. And so this is the track and this is the road of theft, right? When you're looking at this map, when you're looking at the deception of Deborah Wessel and the HalleluYAH Scriptures criminal organization, this is where thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars are being stolen at. This should be called the Golden Road. This is the stealing golden road of the HalleluYAH Scriptures. The owners, the people who own it, are at the top. And a lot of people don't understand this. The HalleluYAH Scriptures is owned by one person. There is no ginormous team. It is, and it's not even owned by one person because her name is not on any of this paperwork. And so if you are donating to the orphans, widows, and lepers, you're getting grifted. You are paying the lifestyle of Deborah Weiss. This is the accounts. I've shown all of these accounts to everybody that is out there. You don't see orphans, widows, and lepers. Let's go to the next page just to see it. And there again, there's the connection, United in Yah, right? She did a test on the United in Yah credit card thing right before they did one of their big United in Yah grifts. This is a huge grift, guys. We're talking millions of dollars is being stolen and has been stolen. We have properties at 3396 Panther Lane, that $400,000 that belongs to the people of Yah that was stolen in 2018. We have another property now that is in Arkansas that is that I've just identified. I've just found this, and I'm going to be doing another exposing video. They put out all their own videos. They just shifted and they stole a whole bunch of money from everybody in September of 2022 to steal that other property. Guys, this grift is huge. What you guys think you know of Shalom, or who she calls herself Shalom, is not Shalom. This woman has sold her soul to the devil. She is doing things that only a demon could possibly do. There is a tremendous amount of more information that comes out, a lot of studying, a lot of research, and the deeper that we get into this, the deeper we find there are no orphans, widows, and lepers. If I find an orphan, widow, or leper, I will present it to you. If I find anybody out there, an orphanage, if I find something that they can start sending me, like I've gotten this deposit for $1,000 consistently for 3 months straight, or even a deposit for hundreds of dollars, show me one orphan, widow, or leper, right? All we have are people out there that are not being donated to. This is a fraudulent operation, guys. I don't know how much more I can prove this to you. Please pass this around to anybody who is understanding and who wants their eyes open. And there will be a lot of you guys who will turn a blind eye. And especially I've seen that in the Torah community, the so-called Torah community, you guys allow great evil to happen, which is against the Torah that you're supposed to represent. When we have evil in our midst, we are supposed to get rid of it. We are not supposed to allow it. We are not supposed to let Deborah Wessel, Shalom, whatever her wannabe name is, we should not let her be doing this if you are representing the kingdom of our Creator. The kingdom of our Creator is about holiness. It's about righteousness. It's about not lying. It's about not deceiving. It's about not having invalid weights and measurements. How much more evidence does there need to be? I have over 50 videos already, and every single video I'm exposing this more and more and more. And there are a lot of people, there's a fraction of small people, a lot of people are watching, a lot of people are mad. They say, Jason, you must be the demon. Well, if you want to say I'm a demon, that's fine. But let's talk about all of these expenses. Let's talk about a year's worth of statements when these people on their own website say they do not keep a dime for anybody. But yet every mule, everybody, their ex-postal agents, and everybody I've interviewed over the last 13 years have been struggling with Deborah Weiss. She has left them to the wolves. She has tried to starve them. She will not give them money to live. Yet she lives this extravagant lifestyle, barreling up and down the coast of New Zealand, living it up. Living a very good lifestyle. She is not going to be able to afford this kind of money in food unless she is stealing money on the backs of people. Remember, this is the hands of love. This is the hands that love account, right? This is not Deborah Wessel's money. These are money that belongs to the believers. These are money that belong to truly the people in need. And Deborah Wessel is not that woman in need. Now we need to talk about this. We need to figure out what Mistress Alana is all about. Because, again, not only do we have somebody that's thieving money, but now we have incredible wickedness that, what is it? What is $600? What did you pay $600 for in the name of our Creator? Why are you quoting verses all over in your newsletters? Why are you continuing grifting? Why do you continue putting out newsletters over and over and over without addressing what everybody already knows? This is all over now. There's a new BitChute channel, guys. It's all over BitChute. It's a HalleluYAH Scriptures Exposed. There's a brand new YouTube HalleluYAH Scriptures Exposed. You guys can go to the Messianic Hall of Shame and you can look at every single thing that we've done. Guys, at the Messianic Hall of Shame, I have every video that Hallelujah Scriptures has tried to kick off the internet. All of these videos have been censored off of the internet for most of it because the Hallelujah Scriptures did not want this out there. Every one of these, including their gold that they stole, the silver they stole, it goes on and on and on. And they don't give away Bibles, guys. That is the point. They are not giving away Bibles. They are not taking care of the needy. So you're throwing your money away. Have a good day.